than just dreams or mere figments of our imagination? This thought may seem unsettling, yet it is a question that has intrigued many of us, sparking curiosity and even comfort. Encounters with the departed are deeply personal, complex, and often steeped in cultural and personal beliefs. From fleeting visions during a quiet moment to vivid dreams that seem as real as daylight, these experiences are as varied as the individuals who have them. Some even report two-way communication, feeling guided and comforted by the loved ones they've lost. However, the interpretation of these encounters differs greatly, with explanations spanning from psychological phenomena, personal grief, to spiritual beliefs in an afterlife. While this phenomenon remains unexplained, we have intriguing accounts from people who've had these experiences, providing us with a glimpse into the unknown. Imagine receiving a phone call from a loved one who has passed away. Sounds impossible, right? Well, meet Pam Reynolds. In 2007, Pam Reynolds was grappling with the tragic loss of her husband to cancer. Their bond was unshakable, and his sudden departure left a void in her life that seemed insurmountable. But then, something extraordinary happened. Pam began receiving phone calls from a number she didn't recognize. Every time she picked up the phone, she heard the unmistakable voice of her husband on the other end. His words, brimming with love and support, echoed in her ears as if he was right there with her, assuring her that he was still part of her life. These phone calls were not one-offs. They continued for months, each one as mystifying as the last. Pam heard her husband's voice, felt his presence, and received his messages, even though he was no longer part of the physical world. It was as if a line of communication had been established between the realms of the living and the departed. This baffling phenomenon left investigators stumped. They were unable to trace the calls or provide any logical explanation for them. For them, these calls were enigmatic, an unsolvable mystery that defied the laws of nature and reality as we know it. But for Pam, these calls held a different meaning. They were a source of comfort, an affirmation of an enduring bond that transcended physical existence. They reassured her that her husband's love for her was eternal, undiminished by the barrier of death. Pam's story is a testament to the deep connections we form with our loved ones, connections that may persist even after death. It challenges our understanding of the finality of death and opens up the possibility of continued communication and connection with those who have passed on. Pam's story leaves us with more questions than answers, pushing us to ponder the boundaries of our perceived reality. Bill Guggenheim, a filmmaker, found comfort and guidance from an unlikely source: his deceased father. Bill Guggenheim's journey with afterlife encounters is a remarkable one. The loss of a loved one can be a profound and life-altering event, but for Bill, his father's death became a catalyst for a series of inexplicable experiences. These experiences, far from being distressing, were sources of comfort and wisdom that reshaped his understanding of life and death. Through lucid dreams and waking visions, Bill began to sense his father's presence. These weren't mere figments of a grieving mind. They were vivid, tangible, and imbued with a sense of reality that transcended the ordinary. In his dreams, he saw his father, not as an ethereal ghost, but as a comforting figure, familiar and warm. His father would speak to him, offering words of guidance and comfort that seemed to echo beyond the dreamscape. But it wasn't just in his sleep that Bill felt his father's presence. Even in his waking hours, he would experience visions. These weren't hallucinations or daydreams, but moments of clarity where he felt his father's presence around him. He would hear his father's voice, see his face, and feel a sense of peace that he says was unlike anything he had ever experienced. The messages he received, Bill believes, were not random or meaningless. They were profound insights that helped him navigate his own life's challenges. They were words of wisdom, of love, and of reassurance. Whether it was a decision about his career or a personal dilemma, he felt guided by his father's spirit. These experiences had a profound influence on Bill's life. They fostered a deep sense of connection with his father, transcending the barrier of death. They also spurred him on a journey of exploration into the realms of the afterlife, leading to his documentary series, Afterlife. Bill's experiences offer a unique perspective on life, death, and the potential for ongoing communication. They remind us that while death may be an end, it could also be a beginning of a different kind of relationship, one that is not bound by the physical world but thrives in the realm of the spirit. Dr. Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon, had a brush with death that transformed his understanding of life itself. This was not a typical near-death experience, but rather a journey into a realm beyond our mortal comprehension. Dr. Alexander, an accomplished neurosurgeon, was plunged into a week-long coma due to a severe case of bacterial meningitis. Against all odds, he awoke to share an extraordinary narrative of his journey during this critical period. He described traveling through a tunnel of light, a common element in many such accounts, but his experience ventured into the uncharted territory of the afterlife. He spoke of encountering beings of pure consciousness, entities that exuded an overwhelming sense of love and peace. These beings communicated with him not through words, but through a direct transfer of thoughts and emotions, a form of communication far more profound than our earthly languages. His journey took him through lush landscapes and celestial cities, environments imbued with vibrant colors beyond the visible spectrum, and harmonious sounds that he perceived as a form of higher vibrational communication. But what struck him most was the overwhelming sense of being home, of being where we all originate, and to where we all eventually return. During this journey, Dr. Alexander was granted insights into the nature of life and death. He came to understand that consciousness, our sense of self-awareness, does not perish with our physical bodies, but continues in another form. He realized that death is not an end, but a transition, a doorway to another realm of existence. These insights challenged his scientific understanding, leading him to question the materialistic view of consciousness as a byproduct of the brain. He came to believe that consciousness is fundamental to the universe, that it is the bedrock upon which reality is built. Dr. Alexander's experience challenges our conventional understanding of consciousness and the afterlife. It invites us to explore the mysteries of existence with an open mind, to consider the possibility of a reality beyond our physical realm, and to ponder the profound implications of our own immortality. While these stories are fascinating, it's important to remember that interpretations of such encounters can vary greatly. The ways in which we comprehend these extraordinary experiences are influenced by a myriad of factors, such as scientific research, cultural context, and personal belief. When we delve into the realm of scientific research, we find that there isn't yet a conclusive explanation for these encounters. Some theories suggest that these experiences could be manifestations of memory and grief. It's also possible that altered brain states, perhaps brought on by stress or trauma, could play a role in shaping these experiences. Scientists continue to explore these possibilities, but the mystery persists. Cultural context is another lens through which to view these encounters. Worldwide, cultural beliefs about the afterlife and communication with the deceased vary greatly. In some cultures, it's common to believe in spirits and the afterlife, and these beliefs can influence how individuals interpret their encounters. For example, in many Eastern cultures, dreams about deceased loved ones are seen as visits from their spirits, providing comfort and guidance. In contrast, other cultures might attribute such experiences to the psychological impact of grief and loss. However, at the end of the day, how someone interprets their own experience with a deceased loved one is ultimately a matter of personal belief and understanding. Some may attribute these encounters to the workings of their own mind, while others may find solace in the idea of an ongoing connection with their loved ones beyond the veil of death. Take Pam Reynolds, who found comfort in the mysterious phone calls she believed were from her late husband. Or Bill Guggenheim, who interpreted his visions and dreams as messages from his father. And then there's Dr. Alexander, who found profound insights about life and death in his near-death experience. Each of these individuals interpreted their experiences in ways that resonated with their personal beliefs and understanding. What's clear is that these encounters, however they may be interpreted, can have a profound impact on individuals. They can offer comfort during times of grief, provide a sense of closure, or even inspire a renewed sense of purpose in life. So whether you perceive these encounters as evidence of the afterlife, psychological phenomena, or expressions of grief, the important thing is to approach them with an open mind. The mysteries of life and death are vast and complex, and while we may not have all the answers, it's essential to respect the beliefs and feelings of those who have had these experiences. As we continue to explore the unexplained, remember that the journey is as important as the destination. And as we journey through the complex landscapes of personal belief, scientific research, and cultural context, we may discover that these encounters with the deceased are more than mere anomalies. They are windows into the profound human experience of love, loss, and longing. The stories of Pam, Bill, and Dr. Alexander invite us to explore the mysteries of life, death, and the possible connections that persist beyond. They present us a tapestry of experiences, each unique, yet bound by a common thread of encountering the departed. While the scientific community continues its quest for a definitive explanation, these encounters echo from the depths of personal beliefs, cultural contexts, and the human desire to connect beyond the visible realm. Pam's eerie phone calls, Bill's lucid dreams and visions, and Dr. Alexander's journey through a tunnel of light. Each of these narratives paints a picture of what might lie beyond the veil of our earthly existence. They invite us into a dialogue, not just about death, but about life, love, and the enduring human spirit. At the heart of these experiences is the individual's interpretation. The lens of personal belief, cultural context, and scientific understanding all play a role in shaping how one perceives such encounters. Some may see them as manifestations of grief or psychological phenomena, while others may find comfort in the belief of an ongoing connection with their departed loved ones. For those intrigued by this fascinating intersection of life, death, and the unknown, there's a wealth of resources available for further exploration. Books like The Day After Death by Carl Sagan and Heaven is for Real by Todd Burpo delve deeper into these phenomena. Websites like the International Association for Near-Death Studies and the Grief Recovery Institute offer a range of perspectives and research findings. Documentaries such as Afterlife by Bill Guggenheim and Surviving Death by Netflix provide visual narratives of these encounters. While the nature of these encounters remains a mystery, they continue to inspire us to question, explore, and seek understanding. Above all, they remind us of the enduring bonds of love that transcend the confines of life and death.